Okay, so this is where we left off on our jack-o'-lantern, and right now there's a layer shader and a regular blend shader or blend material on the bottom half and the stem. And we got the layer shader on the top half of the pumpkin. We're not going to use that, so I'm going to go to my window menu, rendering editors, hypershade, and I'm going to delete that layered shader. Okay, and I'm going to go through and make sure that all of it is deleted. You know what, maybe I'll just delete it all. I'll just recreate all that. Okay, so I've cleared out all that stuff. And my pumpkin can't even be rendered now because there's no materials on it. So I'm going to go to the UV shell selection mode and select the top half, and I'm going to assign a new material to it, and it's just going to be a plain old blend. Okay, now I'm going to select the bottom half and the stem, and I'm going to assign another new material to it. Also is going to be a blend. Okay, now I need to rename these, y'all's favorite part. And I'm going to call this stem and body underscore blend. Okay. Let me go back to my other blend and rename it to top underscore blend. Copy that so I can paste it onto the shader group. Okay. So I got those two created. Now we need to create our shader network. So I'm going to work with my top blend. I'm not worried about this one for now. I'm going to give my work area a lot of screen real estate because it's going to get big quick. Okay, so I press Control A to get my attribute editor up. I've torn mine off so it can be on top. I need to connect a texture to the transparency. Okay, and I'm going to do that with a file. So now I've made that connection, and here it is. So with this file, I'm going to go ahead and rename it to, instead of file 1, this is going to be mouth trans. I'll just call it opacity, shorter. And I'm going to copy that. I'm going to do the same thing for my place 2D texture node. Rename it. Okay. Now I'm going to assign the text. I'm going to go ahead and tell it which file it needs. So go to my attribute editor and click on the file browser, and I'm going to load in the mouth JPEG. I created these last night, and now I've got a mouth, and it's on my pumpkin. Okay, it's transparent right there now. Okay, now I'm going to select both these nodes right here, and I'm going to duplicate them. Press Control D. And now I need to connect these in also. So if I hold down Shift, middle mouse click and drag from one node to the other, it's going to pull up in my connection editor. And I need to connect all these nodes. Okay, so that's a list of all the connections I need to make. Well, that would be really annoying. I don't want to do that. So there's a shorter way. If you just middle mouse click and drag, you can just, it will give you a little short menu and you can tell it to go default, or you can control and drop it. Now I made all those connections just that fast because I'm not trying to do anything unique there. Okay, there's another method I wanted to show you. If I select both of these nodes, I can go to Edit and Duplicate Shading Network. Now I've got it again, except it kept those connections. So that's handy. Okay, so now I need to rename these. One of these is going to be the eye on the left side, and one's going to be the eye on the right side. So that's my left. Okay. I need to rename this one. It's going to be for the right eye. Okay, now I need to actually assign the appropriate file to each of these. So this is my left eye. So I'm going to click the File Navigator and navigate to my left eye image. Do the same thing here. Right eye image. Okay, now if I look to see where this is plugged in, it says the out transparency is connected to the top blend transparency. So let's look at this. Out transparency. Let's find that. So out transparency is connected to the transparency. Right there. So if I were to click that, it would unconnect it. Okay, so the left side right now is has my outputs, and I'm connecting from the left side to the right side, just so you know how to use the connection editor a little bit. Okay, well, it looks like there's only one possible connection for the transparency. So how am I going to get all three of these images to affect the transparency of the material? Good question. How do you solve that, Adam? Okay. So here's what you're going to do. There's a set of nodes called utility nodes, and we're going to go down to the plus minus average one. And we're going to connect this in. We're going to take the out transparency and we're going to plug it into the input 3D. And we're going to add three of these images together. That's what we're going to do. This is like creating your own Photoshop filter. Okay, that's what we're doing. Now, if I select this piece, the left eye, click reload left, and do out transparency, and click this, it actually just moved that connection. So I have to force it to generate a list of items in the input 3D section. And this is an array, for those of you who are not familiar with programming. It has square brackets at the end. It's italicized right now because it's connected. square brackets, and it